What is going on, everybody? Happy New Year. Happy 2022. And for our 2022 stream, we thought we'd bring a few guests with us. We got Luke here. I am going to have to move this. And we got Dwayne here.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
We got Jackal here, of course.
G'day, everyone.
And then we've got our famous Lorcas here. And
hey, guys.
The most winningest player that has ever been here on the Weekend Challenge has come back to join us. It is Bakuoni. Bakuoni is here with us.
What's up?
We are going to go straight into this. There is so much stuff that has happened in the past couple of weeks that we have been off, and we've got all of the knowledge here. The knowledge is here. We're ready to go. So, Jackal, why don't you go ahead and start us off right away with this town hall, and we'll go from there.
We'll get right there. We'll get cracked right into it. So they did this nice little write-up in the Splinter Talk. Anyone who's not using Splinter Talk, jump over there. There's a lot of good articles that keep you up to date with the latest and all the Splinterverse that got coined this week, actually, during the AMA. So they had a few little 2021 achievements that they've uploaded here. It's I got quite a lot out of reading out of this to see, because I joined in August and I wasn't aware of the whole timeline of 2021 and just how big it was. If we scroll down, so just in August, 50k daily users, 100,000 spell books were purchased. Then only a few months later, November, 750,000 spell books sold and averaging 400k daily users. That's some pretty bullish news for 2021, and they're only hiring more and more people come 2022 now. So there's a lot to expect this year, I think. What about you guys?
Maybe.
Sounds pretty Dwayne, good. What are you thinking about this? I mean,
I'm bullish.
Yeah, you've seen a full cycle, so tell us, like, what are you thinking is going to go on here?
There's so many angles to go down, like, for that conversation, but right now I'm really focusing on what does it look like to find the bottom with cards, because the marketplace peer-to-peer cards, we're selling Chaos Legion. There's 15 million packs. We sold 1.7 million. And from what I know, we've put $6 million in their hands for the general sale already, which is to say we sold roughly 3 million packs in total. And then on day one, I would expect like a good chunk of change, maybe 1 million packs. And so what is that, 4 million out of 15? What does that do for essentially 3 or 2.5 million packs to go online and opened on January 17th? What's that do for the prices, which we've already seen dip? And then where is the bottom? And so I'm just like thinking that through. And if you guys follow the channel, you know that I'm not about finding the bottom, really. I'm about dollar cost averaging, but I'm also trying to think that through. And I do suspect we can anticipate some like dips, a continued dip in the card costs, because how could you not with that many new cards being sold?
Right.
Maybe rewards are a bit more resilient. Maybe betas and alphas are a bit more resilient. But I think Chaos Legion continues to go down, doesn't it? And at least for the foreseeable future. And then I think long run, like, I'm super bullish. 6 months, I'm very, very bullish.
Yeah, I agree. Luke, what is your thought on it right now? Like, you've been watching this as well. Like, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, if I tell you, it's going to be a sneak preview to my next video. So I don't know. You might have to wait.
Here.
Yeah.
Got some alpha.
I'll leak for all 20 people that are watching right now.
There's going to be 1,000 people. Don't worry.
Okay, yeah, the thousands of people watching.
The thousands of people watching us.
Great. No pressure, right?
That's right.
So the interesting thing is I'm making a video out tomorrow, and it's not necessarily about Splinterlands, but I just feel like as a whole, for the whole play-to-earn market, we're in a little bit of a sideways trend, and I'm worried that at some point we may hit a bit of an even bigger dip, just kind of across the market. A lot of you can track a lot of the top games right now. They've all stalled out in users. Last couple months, we're seeing a lot of just downward trend in the crypto market in general. Bitcoin, ETH, all of those top coins going down. And I think, too, if we hit a bigger, I guess, crypto bear market, crypto winter, whatever you want to say, that just makes me worried for play to earn, because all those tokens are going to go down, meaning all of our rewards like DEC, all those things, we've already seen those go down. And if those happen in all those games, how many people are going to start pulling out of those games? And, how many people are maybe going to lose interest? I feel like we're just kind of in a lull for play to earn. And I think to really restart things, we need to really do a better job educating people how to get into these games. I just don't feel like we're growing the user bases as much as we saw. So that's kind of what I'm concerned about. I'm not saying that's a guarantee. What I'm saying is we've had a huge explosion, whatever that was, May to November, last couple months. It feels like we're stalling out. So that's what I'm saying. I'm just a little bit cautious across the board, and I think that will affect Splinterlands as well. How much? I don't know.
Well, I think that the first thing that we also want to say is those that are watching, welcome. We want to mention to you that the weekend challenge is all about challenging one of our hosts, and then you can win a Chaos Legion pack or a prize of your choice up to $10. So Bakuoni is who you're going to challenge this weekend. It is Bakuoni, Bakuoni. Whoever beats him the most, or whoever actually gets a win, is the person who will actually get the Chaos Legion pack. And based off of what you just said as well, Luke, I just kind of want to go into that a little bit as well. You know, if you remember back in July of last year or June into last year, where everybody was saying, oh my goodness, I wish I would have been playing these games when the gold foils were under $1. I wish that, you know, because I remember, and I'm sure that Dwayne remembers as well, when it was 1,000 DEC to $1. And then everybody got really blessed by everything pumping. We were all surprised because we always thought that DEC was going to stay 1,000 to $1. We thought it was going to stay relatively stable, and then it didn't. And so for me, like, obviously things can't go up forever, right? And everybody was jumping up and down saying quarter one is when you have the big dives, because everybody waits until quarter one to start taking profits. And so you're going to see everything go down. The other part is we all knew that the prices were going to absolutely tank. They were going to absolutely tank with 15 million packs coming out. But what happens is the Splinterlands ecosystem is built so that to enable you to grow up through the ranks, you have to merge those cards, which then gives scarcity, which gives a burn mechanic, which is absolutely amazing. So what's going to happen is quarter one, quarter two, you're going to see prices stay really low. And then as people start burning those cards and merging those cards, all of a sudden that scarcity starts coming in. And I think you start seeing those prices start to rise. That's what happened last cycle. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen this cycle, but we definitely were, personally, I was waiting for the reset. I recognize it now. I know what happened when I saw the gold foils at under $1 last for Untamed. And I want that again, because now I know a lot more of what I'm doing than what I was doing before. So, Dwayne, I know you've spoken at length about this. What is your take on all of this?
So the first thing is, just like 2 days ago or something, shout out to Shingo, I saw him, he's in my live on my end of my YouTube. Shingo's one of the guys who's always there. He's one of my channel members, and he came out and hung out with me for an hour. We did a private live, which was for my community members, but Shingo hung out with me the whole time. And we were talking about DC, and I looked up like an old video, I think in October of last year, I was like I did 2 or 3 different videos talking about DC, and I was like, this used to be $1 for 1,000 of these guys. In fact, it was 65 cents for 1,000 of these, and now it's 1.6 pennies per DC. And everyone, you're talking about how DC to the moon, and you're talking about like airdrop points, and you got to be careful. This could cut in half overnight. And then it did, like, very quickly. And it was like, I think like within 2 or 3 weeks, it might've been middle of November. And then we've just bled out since then. And as far as I'm concerned, it's still way overvalued. Now I know those airdrop points are amazing, but like there's this thing escalates in both ways so rapidly, both upward price appreciation and downward, because of the way that the algorithmic inflation works. So when DEC is worth a lot of money, it's going to mean that they're going to be printing more of it, which is like a double positive, because you got more, like, it's worth a lot of money and they're printing way more of it. When DEC is worth very little, They don't need to algorithmically inflate it, and so they're printing less of it, and it's worth less. And so it's like a downward spiral right now that we're on, and that's impacting. That has a tangential effect on both the cost of cards on the marketplace as well as the cost of rentals. And so it's so connected, and I've got a question that I'm ready to pose to Aggie. I want to talk to him about this exact thing, because it feels like that's really problematic. Like we boomed because of that huge price rise in DC, and now I think to Luke's point, we're dipping hard on excitement on new players, because that whole downward cycle is really taking away the wind out of people's sails for profits.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that was one point they touched on during the town hall, is they're going to start moving more utility to the SPS, get DEC back down to its peg. And they're telling us pretty clearly that get into SPS, don't hold your DEC. It needs to drop in value. This, as annoying as it sounds, like don't be holding it. It needs to come down so they could start getting the SPS up and running a bit better.
Well, we talk about that even with, like, if we even look at like SPL for Axie, it's the same thing. Like, everybody's trying to jump up and down. You got so many new people that are into this metaverse that they don't quite understand how it's all supposed to work. So they see the lowest hanging fruit, right? The DEC, the smooth love potion, the whatever the token happens to be, and it pumps, and then people who know how it works know when to either put it into stablecoin. I mean, I remember very, very clearly with Knight reaching out, being like, hey, remember, DEC is not going to go up forever. Make sure that you're moving it to stablecoin. Make sure that you're moving it somewhere where you feel comfortable with it. And he was absolutely right. And so I think what we're also seeing here is a lot of people who are very, very new to the metaverse, who don't quite understand how it's supposed to work. Because I look at on-ramps and off-ramps that Splinterlands has specifically, and it's incredible. Like, the way that you can on-ramp people and off-ramp people, and not only that, but it's on your iPhone, like it's in Google Play. Like, you can get money into the game very, very easily. And it's really not super hard to get money back out of the game. So, Lorcas, you've been kind of quiet back there, and I know that you did a very large purchase. How are you feeling about where things are right now?
I am very bullish, similar to Jackal maybe. I hear everything that Luke said, and I absolutely agree. But to me, where it becomes bullish for me is in what you said, Dragon, kind of going along those lines, that this is going to bring in a lot of new players, and the bottom isn't as important to me. Maybe similar to what you were talking about earlier. The bottom isn't important necessarily. What it is it brings down the cost of entry, so that as it starts to go back up, we have lots of players that are enticed to buy cards, to combine. You can't combine. Your average person can't combine a card that costs several $100s. Like, that's not reasonable. Sure, people that are into crypto space and are playing around with house money, if you want to call it that, sure, that's fine. But when you're talking about 75 million cards, that's not what we're talking about. We're trying to bring in more players and make this a game that has longevity and that has, like, the ability for people to get into it and get excited about it. So to me, it's extremely exciting. And yes, there will be the cost right now to enter is low, but that also means that maybe you're not seeing the return on investment that you did a few months ago. But that's not exactly what I'm excited about. I'm excited about that this gives the opportunity to get a whole lot of new blood into the game and really have legs in the long term.
Yeah. And at the same time, it's to Luke's point as well. It is almost our responsibility, us who are getting out there a bit more publicly. It's almost our responsibility to help onboard more people. Like, especially Dwayne, Luke, you guys have got some buzzing YouTube channels and stuff like that. And I can only imagine how easily accessible YouTube is. And then the content that you guys are putting out there, it'd be nice to see even more people in our community start helping some more grassroots movements.
I think it's really easy to get discouraged too, because, like, Luke, I know that, with GameHunters, we look at a lot of different projects and you see failure. Oh, Axie is having this and this and this. Oh, Sunflower just broke Polygon and then it went down. I mean, like when you start looking, you start seeing, oh my gosh, there are literally thousands of projects out there and there's very few that are doing well. I think one of the things that we have all been shouting from the rooftops as well is, guys, not many of these may make it. Like, we know that 10% of these projects may make it. So I know I cut you off. What were you thinking?
Oh, I mean, I was going to add on. I think that's definitely what we're seeing is that there's all these projects that have had this explosion growth that they were not ready for. And that's one of the issues is that we haven't had time for things to settle down for new players to get into the game. Kind of as you were saying, Lorcas, is that, if I'm trying to just convince my regular gamer friend to get into play to earn gaming and I say, hey, come into the space. By the way, you need, $2,000 to buy an access team, or you need $700 to buy a silver Splinterlands, couple decks here to get you going. There's no way I'm going to get any of my friends to do that. Yep. And I think this space to actually grow, we need more games that have opportunities at, hey, get in this game for $40, get in this game for $60, just like you'd buy a Nintendo Switch game or Xbox game. Get in this game. Maybe I can convince my friend, hey, save up 2 months of video game budget and, maybe $150. Maybe that's even reasonable. But getting up over that for someone that's not into crypto, not into investing, is just not going to happen, because as soon as they get in, they see their portfolio go up a little bit, they'll be celebrating. As soon as they see it cut in half, they're running away instantly if they're putting in too much, because they're just not used to that. I mean, I remember how much anxiety it gave me in the beginning, just seeing it go from, a couple $100 back down and then up and then down. I was like, man, this is just a roller coaster. And I think getting more people, the average gamer, into it, it's going to take some time. And that's why I'm actually excited for this time, even though I think the market's going to be down for a while. I think, as Lorca said, this is an opportunity for us, smaller investors, small gamers, just the average gamer, to actually get into this space.
But shifting that mindset from, I'm buying that $60 game, let's just call that the spell book now, and there needs to be improvements done for the new user experience. But I'm buying a $60 game. If I just buy a normal $6 game, it goes to zero straight away, doesn't it? And yes, I get some time out of it. How do we incentivize people to put that $60 in, get through this bronze grind, or incentivize these players from the bottom? How can we onboard and help that process happen as well?
So I hope there's a lot more. I hope there's a lot more like third-party activity in that space to be able to help people get onboarded and get excited about the game. Because even if there's a high cost of entry, if there's a good support system to get people started and to start earning, there's a lot of value there. We've seen that with Axie. Like, you don't have to have $2,000. If there's a support system to get people into it, that also drives value in the game. So I hope to see more of that stuff continue.
I literally had a conversation with one of my friends from Brazil today, because he was looking at Axie when it was $1,500 to $2,000. And he's like, I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking about this and everything else. I'm like, hold on, just hold off. And I literally talked to him today. I was like, Axie's $50, $60. And I would say the same thing about Splinterlands. Like, we were all complaining about it in October. How can you onboard people when they got to fight through the bots and they got to fight through, $10 cards, and it's going to cost $1,500 to get a playable Splinter, $1,200. I mean, you guys did the math. What was it, Dwayne? I mean,
yeah, it's not cheap. I did just the other day. I crunched like a silver deck. You could get it probably 600 to 800, like a really quality silver deck for probably the 800 range. And then I think I did 3 Splinters. I can't remember exactly. So it's not cheap. But I kind of want to push back a little bit on the idea that, because we're kind of saying that's quite expensive and most people aren't going to want to mess around with it. I think that's true, because I think most people don't really understand what blockchain is. They don't understand the revolution that this is. And I think that's the real barrier. Like, do they get blockchain? If they see what blockchain is and the power that it's unlocking, and that this is the future of video gaming, then I think that second conversation around, like, would you be willing to try a couple $100 at something that's literally your asset forever, and that's going to have it's a small money tree, probably, like it's going to produce small amounts of money, maybe it's pennies, but it's something. And I always say, and I think it's so important to keep saying, that those assets you're getting on a daily basis, whether it's a few SPS from holding those cards, or whether it's a couple cards at the end of the season, those might look like they're 5 cents right now. but they're not 5 cents. The asset has a value and it has a price. The price is what you pay for, but the value is what you get. And those are way more valuable than the price point that they're at today. And that's just the deflationary nature of these things. Again, that's a whole conversation around, do you understand what blockchain is? But again, that's where the conversation is. And if they do, then it's like, whoa, like $600, like I can, print cards forever, and I can have some fun with a video game. And like to your guys' point, $60 or $100 now for a PlayStation 4 game or 5 game. I feel like there's kind of no contest, but you have to have that vision. And then maybe not everybody, most people don't, is the truth.
Yeah, well, I think that's part of the problem, though, is that it's the education on how gaming and finance come together. But as you said, the crypto and blockchain space in general. And I think that's where we're really seeing a stall out is maybe Splinterlands, you can say, is doing an okay job of, as you said, Dragon, they're doing a great job. It's so easy to get in the game knowing nothing about crypto. But then to teach them about the Hive keychain and how to
kind of teaches you about DeFi initially too.
Yeah,
which is the other
it's
part
a little
of it,
complicated. Cool. And Splinterlands is doing one of the better jobs, but go look into other games. Fate and Arena, when I got into the game, I had no idea what these freaking tokens were. And I am someone that's into play to earn. And same thing as Gods Unchained is like, I could convince someone that plays Hearthstone easily to go download Gods Unchained and play it. But then I go and tell them, hey, here's how you need to go buy cards on the marketplace. You need a MetaMask wallet. You're going to have to transfer on this, this decentralized exchange and swap these tokens. So you get the Gods token and then go buy up cards. They're like, what the heck are you talking about?
Has anybody else here
tax implications as well?
Exactly. And not only that, but let's not forget about the gas fees. Like, I remember having a very long conversation with multiple people about why is there gas fees and where does it go and why is it costing so much? I mean, and I think that what I love about this space and what I love about this group in general is that we can talk about the good and the bad very, very openly. There's no restrictions in regards to it. And Luke, I hear you. I mean, I think that a lot of us, I know that I'm only 7-8 months in. Jackal, how long have you been in?
In crypto or Splinterlands?
Crypto.
Crypto, it would have been... Play to Earn would have been August last year. Splinterlands was my first one.
And then, Luke, how long have you been in?
Yeah, I've been in since about March of last year, so about 10 months now.
And then, Dwayne, you've been in for 3 years, right?
Yeah, November was 3 years, I think.
Lorcas, how long have you been in?
Like May of last year. I started out with Cometh.
You started with what?
Cometh, or Cometh, however you pronounce it.
I don't know what that is.
Started out with meth?
You were in meth?
Meth?
Yes, started out with meth. I thought it was a great place to start.
Can we have an intervention right now?
Cometh or Cometh, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but the spaceship game where you harvest asteroids for LP and different. It's based on a Polygon blockchain.
So it was kind of like Crypto Blades or Alien Worlds and stuff like that. Maybe it was. I don't really want to say bad things about games here. So let's just move on. It was bad. I had a bad experience. Now we really want to know. Now we're just like, give us the turn.
Okay, that was too harsh. Not bad things. It wasn't a game that spoke to me in like a game sense. I felt like I was playing like Minesweeper in order to earn LP in a different LPs. Like it wasn't like a game that spoke to me in like a game sense.
But that's so true, right? Isn't that like we've joked about that? Like you've got all of these games out there. I mean, we've joked about Sunflower a couple times, but even Sunflower, breaks the Polygon network. You've got Alien Worlds. It's like a clicker. Yeah. That the people who get in early have done very well. Demore says, I think it was Necromancer. I'm going to go ahead and show this. I think it was Necromancer who mentioned it on his YouTube. The current player base is 400,000. That leaves 12 million packs. Let's divide by half the players to account for bots. So 200,000 equals 60 packs per player left when the general sale hits. So we can switch and go ahead and talk about that as well. I know that everybody's talked a lot about predictions for general sale and stuff like that. I'm not worried about it. Dwayne?
On the general sale? I was answering questions in my little chat here, so I got a little distracted there.
basically there's only going to be 200,000 packs per player left when the general sale hits.
60 packs per player.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
200,000
Yeah. No, it's like, I think it's less than that. Like well, it depends on how you calculate how many people there are. But if there are 400,000 accounts, I did the math. It was like 60 or 50 or something. But either way, it's not enough. And I personally bought 6,000 and I'm going to buy another 5,000. So you push and shove. That's what Aggie always says.
I didn't get to catch up with one of your latest videos, Dwayne. How's your land sale gone?
Oh, so that's a good question. And my community is going to be wondering. So so first things first, I did the math, and you guys, whoever doesn't know this, I looked at what the math and my return on my land was. I bought my land plots for $15. I have 100 of them. It's a tract. Cost me $1,500 US. It was worth like 70, 80,000, maybe 2 months ago. Now they were selling for about 60, like maybe 5 days ago, a week ago. I did the math. I was like, I could buy 10,000 Chaos Legion packs, which would be, way, way, way more airdrop points. And I'd get airdrop cards and cards inside the pack. So I just felt like I needed to, and I decided I'm gonna. But then I listed it. It didn't sell off. Somebody undercut me. And then I had a couple of people from the community reach out. Maybe that we could strike a little, a direct trade-off. And now where we're landing so far is that I probably have a deal lined up where I'm going to trade my tract for 100 plots. And then I can just sell however many plots I want into the Hive Engine ecosystem. That's the goal. I just want to liquidate a little because I really want to get some more Chaos Legion packs, and I want to pay for vouchers and on and on.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that one of the things that, I really appreciate about Dwayne is that he's explaining like things that you would normally not do. Like he's very bold in regards to that. Like a lot of people would be like, no, hold the track. It's going to be worth a ton. He doesn't know that. None of us know that. And so he's like, it probably makes more sense for me to be more liquid. And I think that is what I appreciate about your channel so much is that you sit there and you're like, look, I'm not afraid to make the hard decisions. Like if I bought a card, like for instance, I have one piece of land. I bought it for $20. It's worth $600. I should probably sell that piece of land.
I mean, like it ends up being, this is like the really hard thing for people come to me and they ask, like, I have a legendary totem. Should I sell it? I have so many plots of land. Should I sell it? And the thing is, like, what's your circumstance? How much money do you have in the real world? Like, are you willing? Do you believe in this game, 10, 20 years in the future? Do you think they'll hit a home run with land? All of the positive possible theories and beliefs I hold about this game. I'm super confident, and I have like $200,000 worth of assets in this game, maybe more, and I'm not selling them. But I am selling certain things because I just feel that I could put that value, that US dollar value, into a different angle that would allow me to 10x my 10x. That's how I look at it. Like, it's like, yes, I love land. I don't want to sell that, but I think I could play an angle here where I could, if I can get out of that, then maybe I can move into a bigger bite of Chaos Legion, which to me, those $4 packs that's the basement price possible for Chaos Legion packs. 2 months ago, we were paying $24 per Chaos Legion pack with a voucher for $20 and $4 for your pack. Now you're going to give it to me for $4? That's so cheap. And yes, I theoretically could get $3 Chaos Legion packs off of the Hive Engine marketplace probably 2 weeks from now. I believe that will be true, but those will not include airdrop cards. And if I back up the truck right now, I'm going to get a ton of airdrop cards, and those are going to be super. Like, remember Yoden, remember Kitty, remember.
Remember it. Let's not forget, Yoden and Kitty are still sitting in a very, very nice spot. Those have all been airdrops. So,
but has there been news about whether we will get summoners and airdrops? I think that was maybe something that I heard some complaints about with the second and third airdrop, that there wasn't a summoner there. Is there any heartburn with anybody there?
There is going to be, yeah. There's, if I'm understanding your question, remember there's the 6 people who won the pre-sale. They bought the most packs during pre-sale. Each get to design a legendary summoner. Those are airdropped, and so people like me are going to get copies of those legendary summoners, which are for sure going to be amazing. And I would think they're going to be up there with 3 abilities in maybe the 7 mana cost range, just like Kitty. And And who knows, maybe they'll be even more expensive, but even more crazy. Like, how would it be if there was an 11 cost summoner and he had like, I don't know, like maybe they could try
Well,
some.
they're
angle
starting
like
to explore that. I mean, we're starting to see that. And by the way, Jotun is still sitting at $800 even with the downturn.
So this is probably just my lack of knowledge here. I didn't understand that those were definitely airdrops in this set. Are they for Chaos Legion, or are they for potentially for the expansion set on
They're
Chaos
for
Legion?
this. They're for this. And we have
know.
we have 13 airdrops remaining, but 2 of them are going. The Uriel and Bakjira, that's the blue whale and the angel from the white team. They are allocated there. You're not getting those unless you bought the pre-sale or during this phase right now. And general sale is starting on January 17th, which is just around the corner. And that's when, as I understand it, the 4th airdrop, which I don't think we know yet, is going to be available, and the first 1 million packs will get that. If I'm wrong on that point, guys, correct me. But then we'll have 10 more airdrops at that point moving forward, and 6 of them will be legendary summoners at least. I would think there might even be like an epic also, because usually there's like some epics in there. So they probably won't all be legendaries, but 6 legendary summoners for sure.
So I do want to throw something out, a little bit of a counterpoint. I'd like to get your guys' thoughts. I'm just thinking about this as you guys are talking about it. So 15 million packs. Let's say the rest of them somehow sell out day one, whatever. So every one of those packs is eligible for all the airdrop points, right? And it's seemingly for the legendary cards right now, it's a 0.33% airdrop chance. 300 gets you a guarantee, right? Maybe for legendary summoners, it's a little more than that, but let's say it's the same rate. That would mean 49,500 legendary summoners would be minted. Does that sound right? And if you look at what's out there right now I'm just looking at Kitty at Peak Monsters right now, there's about 1,500 cards, almost a 4,000 BCX out there. So you're talking about, yes, legendary summoners that are worth $500, $800 right now, but for Chaos Legion, if we get all these airdrops for the increased supply, that's over a 10x on supply on these airdrops, right?
But what's the play based on?
I'm just asking how much of a factor you guys think that is in the prices of what these legendary summoners. I agree that these legendary summoners are going to be amazing, right? But the supply is a lot more, right?
There's one thing I can add to that picture that doesn't necessarily refute what your point is, but maybe something food for thought. Shout out to Patty Darkstar in my guild, and he said to me that previously the other under Untamed, and you guys can Google this, like what were the Untamed airdrops drop rates. That information is on the internet, and every time they release a new airdrop, they tell you need so many packs to get a guarantee. And every time, he pointed out, I didn't know this actually, but he pointed out every next airdrop they raised the guarantee number of packs you needed to buy, which makes some sense, because you didn't want to, like, at that point you've got 10 million packs sold and then you've got 12 million packs, so it makes more sense to increase the requirement to get a guarantee on it. So it ended up being, I don't know the numbers anymore, but they grow. And so maybe that would kind of take away a little bit of what you're, of your point, but not entirely taking the wind out of what you're saying there.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's 500 packs per airdrop, you're still talking about 30,000 legendary summoners being dropped.
And really, let's think about it this way. Like, how many people, as they're onboarding, are able to do that? Like, again, what I saw, what happened last June, was the prices of those were not astronomical. You could get a Jotun between $20 and $35, which is, yes, high, but we're not seeing that to be crazy. Jotun right now is sitting at 800. Llama right now is sitting at almost 600. And then it falls off from there. Kitty is at $569. So, obviously those are the ones that really were big. And let's not forget that you've got the gold foils of those as well that are exponentially higher. But I do think that you have a little bit of a problem here. Happy birthday, Peach Gaming TV, on your 22nd birthday.
Happy birthday.
Also,
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Demore mentioned as well that you do have to take into mind that, of the burning factor as well, and the merge factor that then reduces supply. But I just think that I think also that, again, if you get in early, which we're all in early this cycle, like a lot of us have been in within the last year, we've seen what the cycle has done. Even if the cycle doesn't fully do that, we still own those assets. But I 100% agree with you, Luke, in regards to it is hard to even talk to our friends. A lot of times I'll say it is gamified investment. That's what this is. If you like playing games and you like the ability to make, even if you're making 10 cents a day, you're still making money. So what does it take to make that 10 cents a day? Well, last year it was pretty easy to see. $200 could get you into bronze 3-ish. You needed $500 to $600 to get you into silver 1. And I didn't do that. Like, that's not what happened for me. But for me, what I did was, I've told everybody I spent like $400 to $500. It's all I spent. I'm not a whale. I didn't have a ton of cash. I was very nervous about this space. And then I bought the Untamed packs with the intention of flipping them to be able to fund Chaos Legion. And I can say I have put no additional money in, and I had like $1,500 to be able to turn around and drop directly into Chaos Legion. And if people have that, and I did, dude, I bought 50. I spent $100 on packs, and I see it being very possible of Chaos Legion doing that cycle again. It may not be as high because you've got more supply, right? But if this team is able to get to the point where even close to like a Magic the Gathering, where they're releasing multiple sets per year and multiple sets are cycling out, that creates a constant cash flow that can potentially be there for the investors and for the players. And we haven't even begun to look at big tournament prize pools and everything else. And all, I mean, I think tournaments are a complete dark horse. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's a huge dark horse that nobody is paying attention to.
Well, how are your tournaments going, Luke? I've seen you're getting in
I
with
think we
Zen
got
Sports a bit more.
250 signed up for starting on Wednesday. So 252 now.
Nice.
So,
252. Well, make sure you put in the chat as well, so that if people want to go and sign up for your tournament, that would be awesome. Baku, we haven't checked in with you for a while here. So how is it going right now?
3 people have 1 win each. Full Power,
Really?
Micro, and someone called Air something. I
Love
haven't
seeing the
seen
new
his name
names.
again.
3 people. 3 people have beat you. Wow.
It looks
okay.
like Full Power without vowels in the power part, and ML1T have beat him.
Well, hey guys, make sure that you're typing in the chat as well, since we haven't seen you a ton. We want to make sure that we can get you your prizes if you win. Remember, it is 1 hour. You have 20 minutes to go. Whoever beats Baku the most. So those 3 people each have 1 win. We need to make sure that they can get cycled back in, Baku, to see if those 3 specifically can get a second win on you.
Yep,
and then
sure.
go from there. So, Jackal, we haven't gone back to where we're sitting on the actual town hall. Let's get back into that. We've all got a ton of opinions, and we haven't gotten to hang out in a while.
It's the best. It's the best. All right. Well, let's go to a little summary now. We didn't even start the summary, but so Hardpoint and Chutter, they've started a learn to play stream. I've caught that over on YouTube. I've seen Luke in some of those streams just pumping at the comments in YouTube, getting himself noticed through there. So, and they're very open to people coming in, having a chat. They've openly said, like, you've got 2 guys who are actively working on the game live on stream. They're open to questions. So that was a little wink. A bit more about Land. I'll tap on this because I'm hoping we do have a lot of new players coming into the world and stuff like that, and people may not have a full grasp of what Land is. So Land, so your items and spells, they're going to have burn mechanism, Nate's vision. Regions will be little cities within Pretoria. In between those cities are going to be Wildland. Wildland will introduce a bunch of new gameplay into the game for everyone to participate. Take with that as you want, like as you've said, Dwayne, like it's not here yet, so how much is it worth? But it's it's hard not to get really bullish. It's hard not to get real bullish on land. Nate also mentioned that they have no intentions at the moment to release any further land in the Pretoria land, but and they don't want to, if there is hypothetically more land, it's going to be less productive than any land in Pretoria. So hence the push and shove from Aggroed.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Daily active users, we're talking that. So after they did the reward changes, bots created plummeted to about 1 to 5%. And they're saying that most new players coming into the game now are real players. Yabba Matt was questioned on that during the AMA. He was questioned like exactly how many bots are there in the game. He talked around it a bit. And bots, from my understanding, bots are not as simple as you just open up a bot, it wins every single battle. You have your battle bots. Dwayne, you only just recently spoke about the rental market bot, also the card market bots, which I wasn't even aware of.
It was very obvious that there was card market bots that were in there flipping.
This stuff goes straight over
very,
my head.
very
So
obvious. Because that's why we couldn't get a hold of them. Like when you were sitting there trying to buy the lowest ones, right? They'd just be gone instantly. And so you would fail over and over and over. So it was obvious that somebody was buying, because if you do that, like with min-maxing, right, you can buy up the floor and then just relist and then instant profit. You just need to know how far to buy it, right? If you've got a big set of cash, then you know exactly what to do.
Yeah. But just remember, I suppose everyone, like bots, they're beatable. They're scripting, their algorithms. It's hard because the more we speak about bots, the more it puts them out in the air. But if we speak about beating them, then humans, I think, will always beat them. We be creative, get around them, like maybe drive them down, and we can control script to some degree until it takes over. Play to earn. So they harp on. Splinterlands is not a free-to-play game. You need to be putting a little bit of money in to get a bit of money out. The airdrops. So the team is prepared to release Chaos Legion airdrops in an organized fashion. Will be based on how long the general sale lasts, and they're preparing for it. They spoke about this theories of maybe pausing battles for a few minutes, get Chaos Legion out the door, and they're thinking about all different ways that how to get a successful launch. And well, I'm still giving them pats on the back on how they did the phase 2 of the Chaos Legion pre-sale drops, whatever it was titled. Like that was tremendous.
Every step of the way, they've done incredible. Like we were like, okay, the servers are going to go down. There's no way they can keep up. They've done great.
Yeah,
they've done great.
More on tournament. Next round of tournaments are going to try to incorporate more Chaos Legion rules, and bigger tournaments should be coming back soon. Team may hold off a bit longer until the Chaos Legion general sale happens. I was hoping to hear more on the in-game SBS staking on players and stuff like that. I don't know if any of you guys are tracking that closely, or some of these bigger tournaments that are happening now. We were talking to Game Boy Ali just earlier, and he's got some people betting on him in some of the upcoming tournaments, which is exciting news. And then they mentioned Rift Watchers, and then the season end rewards, and that was about it. And then they have a nice little SPS roadmap for 2022 that they posted a nice article on that too, which I'll share in the Discord if everyone wants to read.
That's great.
The future's looking bright. It's at the start of the year. There's a lot to theorize. There's a lot to talk about. 2021, I think it was a success. We're all still living here. We're still here. Luke, like you've gone full time. Well done.
Full time crypto, baby.
Yeah,
full time.
We're moving forward.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how nervous are you, Luke?
Ooh. I mean, the nice thing is, I said my wife has a good job, so either way we're fine. So this is more, I got 2 months experimenting, and then we'll see where it goes from there. My hope is if through ads, sponsorships, memberships, all that, it would be nice to get it around 2K a month. We're definitely not there week 1. So the really only nerves, it's not like, oh, my life is doomed if it doesn't work out. It's just like, okay, if it doesn't work out, I'm going to have to go look for a job that won't be as fun. So
Yeah.
Definitely some nerves, but
Yeah.
it's not like life-threatening nerves.
Well, we're super excited about your venture for sure, and I know that we love having you out here, and we have so much fun with you guys that are here on this stream every week. So you guys, hopefully, we can do a ton of collaborations this week or this year. I know that there's a whole bunch happening with the YGG SPL sub DAO as well, which is very exciting. Whether you're involved with YGG or not, there's still opportunities there. And so, Dwayne, I know that you have been also pumping. Guys, if you have not heard anything from us, SPS is cheap. It's really cheap. And let's talk about Rift Watchers. That there's no way to buy a Rift Watchers pass or a pack unless you have SPS, which is automatically. This is not financial advice. It's automatically going to pump the token. It's going to pump the token, guys. It's like under 20 cents each right now. I know Dwayne is talking a ton about SPS. So Dwayne, give us the short version of what you're thinking about SPS.
There is no vision of the future that this, like, if you're preparing for the future within this game, that must include SPS. And Aggroed is hitting you over the head with that every single week. They're building new utility into it. They're adding like that foundation. If you didn't read that roadmap that Jackal was just citing, man, you got to read that roadmap. It's probably an 8-minute read. And in one paragraph that I tweeted about, and guys follow me on Twitter, mostly Splinterlands stuff. I shared the one thing I shared from that thing when I first read it was the fact that we cannot buy Rift Watchers without SPS, and the SPS goes directly into that pool, and there's going to be like $15 million in that pool that we, the SPS holders, control. So you're totally right. There's going to be, how is there not going to be a pump leading up to Rift Watchers has got 3 million packs. You think there won't be excitement to get a slice of that pie? Of course, people are going to want Rift Watchers. And so they have no other option but SPS. They're going to accumulate a bag, and we're going to see a steady price appreciation before. And then you might ask, oh, but Dwayne, it's going to dump hard as soon as they buy the packs with it. Think about it. No, they won't, because the SPS is going into a pool that is not being spent. Right? Like that's the really
They're burning SPS. They're burning it essentially.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, first SPS proposal for governance. I'm going to put it out there. Give the foundation to Luke. That's it.
Yes.
So everyone upvote that one. As high as we can get that one to go.
That's right.
Let's do it.
And free vouchers to Last Dragon. Free vouchers to Last Dragon. That's what we got to say. Thank you, Lorcas. Yeah.
Good dude, Lucas. I tell you what, though, that's if I were to start Splinterlands right now with the mentality of this is just a computer game that I'm going to play, I'm going to spend my $60 on or $100 in Australia. I wasn't interested in investing and learning all the blockchain and stuff like that. I think I'd just be getting the spell book, SPS, staking it, and then just learning the game from there. And I think it'll be hard not to naturally just slowly learn more and more about the investing side of things, because this is a great game at its core, and we've really got to remember that too.
Yeah. And I think, maybe at the start of the stream with my negative rant, everyone might think I'm a little bearish right now, and that's fine for short term, but long term, I'm still bullish. Right. And, people are asking, do we buy SPS? A lot of people are like, oh, wait for it. The supply is still inflating a bunch. We'll see SPS at 10 cents, 5 cents even. I've seen predictions of that. And for me, it's like, sure, I still hit a market. All tokens are going to continue to go down from here. That's definitely possible. But to me, kind of as you're saying, Dwayne, you're not going to guess the bottom. Stop trying to predict. And so I'm happy to dollar cost average at 17 cents right now. That's crazy when we've seen it over or almost $1. And so I don't care if I'm buying it at 20 cents, if I buy it at 10 cents, 5 cents. If my long-term view is in a couple of years, if this thing's over $2, let's say, I don't care if I bought it at 20 cents. I don't care if I bought it at 50 cents or 10 cents. Either way, one day, hopefully it's all profit. So that's how I'm approaching it.
I feel that way about common cards right now, honestly. Like, I don't care if it goes down to a penny. Like, you got cards at 4 and 5 cents right now. Like, Why wouldn't you? And honestly, this cycle, I think I was talking to Jackal about this a little bit earlier. This cycle, I am very much so going to be incredibly bullish on gold foils, on gold cards. Because if you look at the long term, first off, you get more card power out of them. Secondly, there is only a limited time that we're going to see them dip beneath $1. It's going to be limited. Or even hover in that dollar range, right? If you remember, at the end of Q3, Q4 for Untamed, I don't think you could get anything for less than $5. $5 to $10 is where they were all sitting.
Right.
So it increases your card power. It increases just longevity. I think that when you're talking about holding something for a long time, the gold foils are very, very strong and have held their value very, very well. So that's just personally one of the things I'm looking at. Okay,
Just to
Baku,
be,
what are we at?
just practically speaking, who wants to buy 400 common cards? Just buy them gold. There's only you need way fewer.
Right, exactly. So Baku, where are we at right now? Do we have any other winners yet?
It's still the same 3.
All right, so we have
but the
7 minutes to go. 7 minutes to go. I want you to find those same 3 people, and I want you to only accept their challenges. We need to get one person in the next 7 minutes who has beat you at least one more time.
I think the problem is he's too good.
I know, a 3-way tie, man.
Only
3-way tie means, look, 3-way tie means Baku gets to buy the Chaos Legion packs and give those away. Oh, you didn't know that? Oh.
Better start throwing.
Better start throwing it right now. Dwayne, so your ideas of, all right, you're going to buy a whole bunch more packs. How many packs have you bought total? Because I actually asked you this question directly, like, why is it that you're continuing to buy the Chaos Legion packs instead of looking more at individual Untamed cards? Is it because Untamed is going to cycle out first? Is that kind of your thought with it? Like, it seems like you would get better card power and you have the funding, obviously, to be able to get some of those really high-end cards from the Untamed pack or maybe even the Dice pack. Like, do you just already have those maxed so it doesn't matter to you? Like, what's your thought on that?
That's a fun question. And again, lots of ways that I feel like I could go. But one of the things I like to think about is an asset reaching out to what I imagine is like a reasonable price for it yet or not. And I guess maybe first, before I say that, I do have most of those cards, not all of them. I would love certain editions from the beta or from alpha or even from Untamed or Dice. But the thing is, just like kind of I was talking about land before, I can want something, but recognize that right now that price could be the dollars I would need to sink into it to acquire it would be better spent elsewhere. And it doesn't mean I don't love that thing, like Dice or Untamed. Those are amazing decks. To think you could buy like a $40, I think it's $40-$50 on the Hive Engine to go buy an Untamed pack, and you could drop a gold foil Jotun in there. That's wild. But that's a lottery ticket. That's fun. But it's like, to me, Chaos Legion at $4, like I said at the beginning of the video, that's the basement price for this asset. Because like I said, we were just paying $24 for it. And now this is literally the cheapest it will be ever for the $4 pack with all of the airdrops. You will never, like, yes, it'll be $4 for, however many long months that it's available. But remember, the value proposition of a Chaos Legion pack bought on January 17th is different than a value proposition of a Chaos Legion pack bought on, June 17th. You're going to lose all kinds of airdrops, and those are your value. There's an opportunity cost that you're losing or sacrificing when you delay there. And so, from my perspective, there is no asset in this game, zero other assets in this game that deserve the sort of attention that Chaos Legion does. because of those airdrop cards, because of those SPS airdrop points being very reasonable at 300 per pack, and then the cards themselves within Chaos Legion, of course, I think those are going to be valuable and powerful. So that's the full of that answer. It really feels to me like these are the option that's there is no price appreciation on Chaos Legion packs yet. And I think one day they'll be sold for $40 a pack, not to mention the airdrops.
So what if you start seeing so for you, it's all about the airdrops, right? It's all about the airdrop card, because I was going to say, as soon as the general sale happens, it can almost guarantee we're going to see packs drop beneath the floor.
Yes,
right?
but I'm going to get 10 airdrop cards on every pack I get, or at least a probability of 10 airdrop cards. And especially when you buy, this is something not everybody will recognize. So I'll say it. I've said it before. I'll say it again. If you buy 10 Chaos Legion packs, there's a very low likelihood that you're going to get those airdropped cards. If you buy thousands of packs like I have, then the math actually begins to almost be a guarantee that actually it is technically, literally a guarantee that I'm going to get those cards. And so I don't feel like it's a Hail Mary. I feel it's a layup. And yeah, those airdrop cards are going to be super, super valuable. And even despite what Luke was saying, let's say there is there's 10 times too many. Let's say Chaos Legion is there's just too many packs. I still would argue we've grown so much from where Untamed and where Dice, the sort of audience that was buying those up, that I think we have the population to take care of it. Plus, I expect this game to grow to millions of players in the future. And if I'm wrong about that, then you know what? I could buy these packs right now, and I could sell them into the Hive Engine market for $3. And yes, I'm taking a 30% loss or whatever that is, 25% loss. But then I could go and reinvest in more packs, which would I'd end up with fewer packs, but I'd get more airdrops. So just one last thing to answer your question. I've spent $18,600 on packs in phase 2. I spent $20,000 in phase 1, and I'm going to spend another $10,000-ish in phase 3.
Okay. And how many are you gifting to your buddy Luke?
Yeah, I was going to say, and if you wanted to give 100 packs to each of us because you love us, we would accept it. Just so you know,
I am giving away a ton of things, guys. You just got to get in that tournament. You got to get in that tournament. 400 BDC will get you an opportunity. I'm giving away $110 worth of cards this week and $100 every week for 400 DEC. You can get into the tourneys.
Yeah. No, we're kidding. You're obviously very generous, Dwayne. We're just giving you a hard time.
It's true.
Just a little jealous. Just a little.
No,
it's incredible that you're speaking those immense numbers and stuff like that. It must be such an incredible feeling for yourself as well. That's just what you're playing with, what you've earned.
Yeah, it is.
Well done.
The other day, I talked to my father-in-law, and I was like, so this week I put $220,000 US. I spent $250,000 on Chaos Legion packs, and he was like, he looked at me like I was crazy, and he was like, is that internet money? And like.
So I've always wondered, Dwayne, and maybe you can give us this perspective, because
if he's a
spy,
or if
I'm saying for me, putting in $50 at a time, it's like, okay, if it goes down, whatever, it's not that big of a deal. But I'm curious for you, has there been a level of anxiety rising up as your portfolio has gone up? Because I'm trying to picture myself dealing with hundreds of thousands of dollars in this game. And I'm like, man, I feel like I'd be stressed out. Or have you just kind of generally, grown accustomed to it, I guess?
I am not at all scared about the price decline in the Splinterlands market, and nor the cryptocurrency market. And that might be foolishness. I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring, but I have full confidence, because I do believe that the developers have shown through their track record what they're aiming at and what they can execute. And to me, I've got faith in them. Then the game is fun in addition to that, which to me is meaningful. I don't just do this for money. I do it because I enjoy it. Also, these are deflationary nature, and there's no way to like pull me off of that foundation. It's like there are only so many of them, and they are always going to be burnt by opening them. Like every single time you open a Chaos Legion pack, guys, there is fewer Chaos Legion packs, and one day Splinterlands will have no more. If that's 6 weeks from now, if that's 6 months, if that's 2 years from now, I am certain they will sell out. And when they sell out, people have to come to me to buy them. And I feel like there's so much confidence in that. And that's why, like when I said a moment ago, we bought a $250,000, it wasn't just me. 18,600 was mine, and me and like about 10, 15 guys got together and we put together 220,000 US. So there are people out there. We said earlier, there's 40, 50 packs per account. There is not. Guys, if you get more than 5 Chaos Legion packs, you are lucky, because people like me are out there buying. And forget about me. I know people who have bought, like I know a guy who bought 17,000 packs in the pre-sale when they cost $24 a pack. So like, if you think these are going to last a long time, it's actually just the fear that we have about, well, the rug's going to pull on me, or it's like, but I don't have any of that. So I'm just diving in. And maybe in 6 months, everyone like laughs at that video or like points at me and says, but I just don't see it. I think what really is going to happen is in like 2 years time, I'm going to be retired, and Splinterlands is going to be my cash cow. That's what I envision.
I think the bigger question here though is, and by the way, we still don't have a winner. We still have
Dwayne, go throw in some challenges. Dwayne can take it.
Absolutely. Yeah, Dwayne, Baku, if you lose to Dwayne, you've got to buy those 3 people the Chaos Legion packs.
Dragon, I'm happy to throw like $20 at the, so like if we can't divide it, like we got one $10 and I'll throw in 2 other $10 rewards, and we'll support all those 3 people who are.
Well, that's great. Yeah, I mean, we can definitely let 3 people win if that's the case. I mean, if we got people who want to throw it in, we can give away 3 packs. That's fine. That's probably the easiest thing to do. But the one thing I want to ask you, Dwayne, is yes, you're throwing a large amount of money towards this, and my question to you is it like my situation where you flipped enough? Like, it's easy, it's one thing to say, hey, I've just spent $20,000, but you've made a lot on this game as well. I mean, you've been in it since the beginning for 3 years when things were like next to nothing, and you've been dollar cost averaging the whole way. Mm-hmm. So are you feeling bullish enough at this that you're putting $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 of new money into it? Or is like half of this from money that you have gained and realized as profits from the game itself or from something else within crypto?
So right now, what I've been doing is rolling over value that I've accumulated within the game. So the 18,000 that I just put down was entirely SPS. And how did I get so much SPS? In part because I packed a bag of cards for so long, and then that paid off a lot of SPS. But also because I flipped some SPS, because when it was around 80 cents on the launch or whatever it was, I sold about a few thousand, and then I bought like triple that when it was down around 20. And then because I'm super confident in those assets in SPS, and I wanted to say this earlier, but maybe I will quickly now. I do think SPS could go lower. I think, in the bear market, we could see 5 cent SPS. Like, who knows what the floor is over a multi-year bear market? Like, we'll find a floor, but I'll be buying it the whole way. I'm aiming at 1 million SPS. And I think anyone who takes this game seriously ought to be, making a plan. Maybe it's not 1 million. Maybe it's 10,000. Maybe it's 1,000. I don't know what your situation is, but is this game fun? Is this game like on a good foundation? And if so, take it seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have a winner, everybody. Oh, we do have a winner. And if everybody wants to throw in, yes, absolutely, we can still let those 3 people, those final 3, have a go at it. But and each get a pack. But here is the final battle between Full Power. Maybe I should actually hit the right button. I learned how to play
there it is.
Guys, I learned how to play this game next week, okay?
This game looks fun, Dragon.
This is a great
What's this
game.
one?
All you gotta do is click it. You just gotta click the button once, and it shows you. Full Power, yes, as you saw, was the winner. If it will
GG,
bring
Full Power.
the game back up.
You got this.
I think Full Power won a tournament that I was just in, or won a prize off me like last week on a tourney.
Oh,
All right,
very
here
nice.
Here we are. By the way, moving the skip to results to the bottom right really messed with me. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I was like, where is it? I'm having to watch all these games. All right, here it goes. Here we go. So Bakuoni versus Full Power. This is the second game that they played against each other.
Wow.
Full Power bringing on the
leveled up
light
Lorna.
Those thorns at
The
the front there.
thorns.
Yeah.
Close
Easy one through.
range, no magic.
That Crystal Jaguar, I love pulling that card out.
Attitude.
I don't come up against it too often though, which is nice.
Nice.
And there we
Nice.
go. GG Full
Easy.
Power.
GG.
GG Full Power. I will make sure that we get your I get your in-game name. I need your in-game name. What Gohan says as well, he says when you hit a number that makes you comfortable, the amount of money then becomes just a number and nothing more. All the emotion that most of us feel around money is gone. I know that a lot of us have talked about that as well. Like, you know, whether that number is $1,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 now, like the one thing that I will say blockchain gaming and DeFi has done for me personally is it is very much so devalued the sense of what $5,000 or $10,000 looks like. I don't know why necessarily. Maybe it's just because it's numbers on the screen, but it's definitely $10,000 is not what it used to be in my mind.
Well, it also just plays with your mind as crypto when you're like, I have 10,000 SPS, and you don't really think about how that's $2,500. You're just like, I have 10,000 of this random little token thing. You don't. Sometimes it just doesn't compute in my head that it has some actual dollar value that I could do something else with.
It was
Just money
really
points.
freeing. Yeah, that's it. And it's really freeing for me once I started making comparison, especially with fiat. That money, time, it's interchangeable words. And that's why I really resonate with you and your community, Dwayne, the time and attention community, in that money, time, same thing. That especially when you tokenize it, it's so much easier to be a little bit more charitable and giving as well.
Mm-hmm. That's the amazing thing. And there's people like 7 billion people on the planet, and I think 4 billion live on less than $10 a day. It might even be 5 billion. And the idea that they could come into a game like this or any blockchain based video game and have a little bit of fun, because mobile phones are common even in places like Africa and India. They might not have a desktop, but they've got that mobile. They could drop this game and they could start earning a few DEC or a few SPS or a few, maybe they monster flip and they turn $1 into $2. These are meaningful rewards for most of the world over, and we scream like, oh man, like 2 months ago I was getting paid so much and now this game sucks, it's dead. It's like you don't really get it. And for 3 years, like people like me, and when there was 3,000 people playing this game, we're getting paid 1 cent reward cards, and we're getting paid 1 DC per victory. But so like it's all about just having the perspective that trivial rewards can be meaningful over a long enough time horizon. And that's why it's time and attention, right? It's like this game rewards you for your time and attention. And it's so true. And I've seen it happen. And I know for a fact people who believe that are going to have their lives change over like the next 4 years. That's my confident opinion.
And that's what I love about the beauty of the guilds within the game and their buildings in particular, is that if I could go to the bank and just get an automatic 5% rise purely because I'm a good player and I'm being accepted into a guild or something like that, like that's a massive interest rate just for clicking a few more buttons.
Yep.
So true.
Yep. Well, okay, Luke, tell us about your community and the latest things that are coming back up. Baku, thank you so much for playing against the community this week. Remember, guys, tell your friends. We do this every weekend. But Luke, tell us what you're doing. Tell us what's going on, and pump your stuff.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. As always, just a blast hanging out with you guys, and it's a joy being here. So thanks for having me. I'm obviously Luke, and I obviously play to earn. And really, my whole goal and vision as I go full time is to help the small investor. As I've said before, I'm one of those people that I'm putting in my video game budget, which is like, $60 a month. Maybe I'm putting 100 at most, but I really trying to help out those small investors, small players that just have a little bit, specifically Splinterlands, just trying to grind that rental market. It's tough nowadays, but trying to do my best to turn a profit. Just started a series. We'll see how it goes. Starting with $11 now in Splinterlands 2022. How long is it going to take to get to $1,000? So maybe we're going to have to start a betting pool on how long people think this series is going to go. I'm guessing a couple hundred episodes, but we'll see. So
you are starting with $11.
$1 into credits in the rental market, trying to turn that into snowball, and then hopefully I just got my butt handed to me in bronze, and hopefully I can rent to silver in an episode or two. But again, that's just my heart, helping the small investor. That's why I'm calling myself the krill. We're little krills. We're the whale food, and it's all about surviving, trying to slowly grow up here in this play to earn world.
That's amazing.
So you can find me on YouTube if you want to hang out ever.
All right. And make sure that you put your link down in our private chat so I can send that your way
Sure.
to everybody else. And Dwayne, tell us about your group, please.
Okay, so if you don't know me, my name is Dwayne, and I go by Infidel 1258, usually just 12. And I've got a TNA guild that's time and attention, and we've got 2 guilds. We've got some open spots, but that's going to our interns. Interns are the people that support the channel or support the Discord at various levels for different ways, or who have won their way in through tournament success. Tons of different ways to get involved. Join the Discord to hang out, and support the YouTube channel at silver or higher if you're interested. And that unlocks like certain private access to like early video releases and whatnot. Other than that, Luke says he's the krill. I feel like I'm the baby beluga, and I've got some like the wisdom from 3 years.
He's the big whale.
Hopefully I can add some value to your day.
And for those of you who don't know, I'm Last Dragon, and Jackal, Lorcas, all of us are part of a small gaming guild called YGG, Yield Guild Games. And we do this weekend challenge every Saturday night. You can find us on the GameHunters channel. We are on YouTube. We are on Facebook, Twitter, everywhere else. And a lot of people do ask us, a lot of people that are starting, who is it that you guys are watching? And I can tell you, Luke and Dwayne are 2 people that we literally are watching every single week. We are watching their content. We're watching what they have to say, and especially what they have to say in regards to Splinterlands. And it has been very eye-opening, and the collaboration we've been able to do with them has been amazing. And we just can't wait to see what the rest of this year brings. Full Power, I have already sent you your cards. We always like to have a different person throw us out. We've gone just a little bit over tonight. Tonight it's going to be Jackal. He's going to send us away. Tomorrow night, guys, GameHunters is happening 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we are going to have Ignite tournaments with us and Wonder Heroes, the devs from them. So please come and check us out on all the socials. And we are going to be talking and playing Legends of Venari, which has been one of those games that has been a serious diamond in the rough. A lot of people are talking about it. Luke, you and I need to talk about that a little bit too, because I know that you talked about
GameHunters got to come on to my channel. Tell me all these good games I'm missing out on.
You need to come on with us too. Like we accept the community whenever you want, and that is what GameHunters has always been about. It's not just about one of us. It's showing that YGG is a worldwide community, and there is room enough for literally everybody and their communities as well. So that is what we love about it. So Jackal, send us out. Let's thank everybody, and we'll go from there.
All right, guys. So as you can see, we've got two of some of the best Splinterlands content creators here. Come join us in the YGG Discord. And if you are a content creator, get posting in our links and guides channel, and you guys might have a chance to jump on this too. You'll have a chance to jump into my splintering article that I try to do each day and stake your SPS. See you later.
All right, we'll see you guys later. Good night, guys.
See you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks so much.